Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us to the 3-day leadership program. My name is Daltas Mujelwa, and I'll be facilitating this session. So let us wait for a few minutes to allow everyone to join. Please let us know where you're joining from. You can just write in the chat box to say who you are and where you're joining from. Welcome, this is NWU Mafikeng. She's joining us from Pretoria. We also have Natasha from Centurion. Welcome, guys. We also have Obriel from Mafikeng. Welcome, Courtney from Johannesburg. We're just allowing a few moments for the rest of the participants to sign in, then we will start with the session. Okay, welcome once again, everyone. Today we are joined by Mary Izubo. So I'm just going to quickly read her bio. Mary Izubo is an international human rights lawyer, gender advocate, and governance expert with experience in the field of human rights, governance, democratization, and the rule of law for development. Driven by her passion to achieve democratic equal rights for all within her lifetime, she pioneered the legal unit and was the legal advisor of the African Peer Review Mechanism, an organ of the African Union, and has worked for the United States, the African Union Commission, the Pan-African Parliament, the Institute for the Strategic Vegetation in Africa, and the Electrical Institute for Sustainable Democracy in Africa. Ms. Izobo is the founder of the Amazon Leadership Initiative, which is a non-profit organization that was established to empower women and girls, provide support networks, mentorship, career guidance, education, and capacity development to alleviate gender inequality in line with Aspiration 6 of the African Union Agenda 2063. And Goal 5 of the Sustainable Development Goals. The Amazon Leadership Initiative envisions a world where everyone has equal rights and opportunities, and has partnered with the Graça Machel Trust South Africa, the Malala Fund Nigeria, Shiro's Global Inter-Kingdom, Bahama UP Alumni, South Africa, as well as the Afro in Diaspora Center Ireland. Ms. Izobo has volunteered and carried out community development work by constructing a bus stop and a skills acquisition center in 2008, which she named after the former Vice President of Nigeria, Namadi Sambo in Buzamari, Kaduna State in the northern part of Nigeria. This skills acquisition center is equipped with hair dryers, sewing machines, industrial knitting machines, computers, and culinary equipment. Ms. Izobo set up Namadi Sambo Skills Acquisition Center to provide employment, promote self-empowerment and reliance, as well as alleviate poverty among women and girls in Buzamariri community through vocational skills. Ms. Izobo is a seasoned public speaker and has been invited to speak at various fronts, including state events, National House of Parliaments, African Union institutions, universities, multilateral organizations, internal and local seminars, workshops, as well as conferences. She is also a barrister and a solicitor of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, member of the Nigerian Bar Association, the University of Aberdeen Law Society, and Pro-Law Alumni Association. She has written various academic publications and opinion editorials across continents, such as in the Loyola University Chicago Law School Journal, Daily Maverick, Citizen Newspaper, Afric Law, De Facto BG, and Daily Trust. She has received various academic awards and won various accolades. Some of these notable awards include Best Graduating Student, Most Outstanding Finalist, Overall Best Graduating Student, Afuda Prize in Modern European Languages, Kaduna State Honors Award for Public Service in Nigeria, Best National Youth Service Corps, member in Buzamariri Local Government Area, and a feature in the March 2017 edition of the Successful Women magazine, alongside Rami Training, South Africa's veteran actress. She holds a Bachelor of Arts in French language from the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, a Bachelor of Laws from the University of Aberdeen, Scotland, United Kingdom, and a barrister at law from the Nigerian Law School, Abuja, Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you Miss Mary Izubo. I'll be handing over to her.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all doing very well. I wasn't expecting my whole bio to be read out, so I felt some type of way when it was being read out, but thank you so much, Deltas, for the introduction and for the Golden Key Society for putting this together. Just a bit of housekeeping. Just keep your questions till the end of my presentation to allow me have an easy flow, but I'm sure you can send it to the chat box and Delta should be able to help. Firstly, as a gender advocates, let's talk about the topic at hand today, which is redefining leadership, mentoring. As a gender advocate, redefining leadership would mean the inclusion of women so as to ensure gender balance, as we already know that not a lot of women are in leadership positions. And then as a human rights lawyer, redefining leadership would include the marginalized and vulnerable of the society, such as persons with disabilities, people with a different sexual orientation than us. But when you look at it holistically, redefining leadership is the respect for everyone to hold leadership position irrespective of the age. But obviously, when we talk about age, the person has to be 18 years and above because you have to have adult suffrage. And then sexuality, religion, ethnicity, nationality, or race, it doesn't matter as long as you're up for a leadership position. So leadership position should not be given to you just because of a certain trait, but because of your abilities and your personal traits to be able to lead. And in order to redefine leadership, as we're very well known, mentoring is very crucial. And that is what I'll be speaking on today. Now, mentoring is the informal transfer of knowledge, wisdom, perspective, insight, what have you, from one person to another. And this is very important because a person who has a mentor may tend to perform well, so that no one quotes me that, oh, I do not have a mentor, but I'm doing very well. It's may, if you are able to harness the mentoring that you're up to, if you're able to harness it, obviously you will definitely perform well. And the same thing goes for any organization or any institution which has strong leadership mentoring. Any person in an organization that has very strong mentoring abilities is more likely to thrive better than those without. Now, for mentoring to take place, there needs to be a mentor and there needs to be a mentee. Now, who is a mentor and who is a mentee? Now, a mentor is a person who transfers the knowledge or impacts the other person with knowledge and skills. That is the mentor. The mentee, on the other hand, is a person who receives the knowledge and seeks to learn or grow, be it personally or professionally. Now, this does not mean that the mentee is the only person that receives knowledge, because this also is more like a lecturer and a student relationship, where it also does not matter whether you are a lecturer, you still have to learn from your students. So it doesn't mean that because you're a mentee, you're the only person who's going to learn from your mentor. Your mentor can also learn from you, because learning never ends. I mean, no matter how old you are, no matter who you have become in life, you just keep learning until you die, right? And so the mentoring and the mentor and the mentee relationship is very symbiotic, where both parties tend to gain from each other in terms of knowledge and in terms of skills. And there are 4 types of mentoring. The first one is the group mentoring, where a mentor mentors a group of mentees. Now, oftentimes, this group of mentees have similar ideas, they are on the same page in life, and this is what we do at the Amazon Leadership Initiative. The Amazon Leadership Initiative, DIALI for short, is a not-for-profit organization which I established to empower women and girls, provide support networks, mentorship, career guidance, education, and capacity development to alleviate gender inequality in line with SDG 5 of SDG 2030 and Aspiration 6 of the AU Agenda 2063. So now what is being done at DIALI is that there are a group of girls, mostly, I do not have any male, unfortunately. There are a group of girls who I do mentor within the age of 16 to 26 years of age. And most of the time I pair them into most times the same age or the same category, because you cannot place, for example, you cannot mentor as a group a master's student and an undergraduate student, because the level is quite different. And so you mentor a group of girls probably in 2nd year or in 3rd year. And very soon, 2 of my mentees are here, Puseletso and Itumeleng. They are both in 2nd year of university. Puseletso is in the University of Johannesburg, while Itumeleng is in the University of Pretoria, and they would be sharing first-hand experiences on mentorship or mentoring with you. And so it's easier to mentor as a group, those kind of people, right? And then the second one is a one-on-one mentoring. Now, this is when a mentee approaches a mentor and say to him or her, I admire what you do. I admire your line of work. Maybe my line of work is in the same space as you, and I would like you to mentor me. Some people come on LinkedIn and ask, some do that, via emails. However, you just approach somebody that you admire and you ask them to mentor you. Now, this journey is very personal. It's very personal because it's a one-on-one. You're the one who's approached the person and say, I want to more or less mirror your life. I want to be like you, if not even better than you when I grow up or when I'm in that space. And so, like I said, the journey is very personal, and oftentimes it covers the professional lives of the mentee. The third type of mentoring is the distance or virtual mentoring. Now, the mentor and the mentee are in different locations. Maybe one is in Africa, in Lagos, Nigeria. The other is in Alabama, in the US. And they may never, ever get to meet each other in life, ever. If they're fortunate enough, they might. And if they're not, they will only communicate maybe via, thank God for social media, maybe Twitter, DMs, or LinkedIn messages, or WhatsApp messages, or whatever it is, they just communicate, and the impact of the knowledge is done virtually. It's never done one-on-one. And we have, for example, the Cherry Blair Foundation, which does this by supporting women entrepreneurs in low and middle income countries. I remember that what they do is that your mentor might be somewhere in Afghanistan or Iran or one of those countries, and the other might be in, say, for example, in Asia, in any of those countries, and they just never get to meet. All they just do is speak virtually. And maybe sometime the world may just bring them together and then they get to meet, right? The fourth one is the heroes mentoring. This is the mentoring through the people that you've also never met and you look up to. I'll use example, Michelle Obama, right? Everyone here, I believe, knows Michelle Obama, the former vice president, the former first lady of the United States of America, and the famous forever first lady. A lot of people, when they look at her, they aspire to be like her, or even Oprah Winfrey, or maybe Tuli Madonsela, or the Speaker of the Parliament, Modise, where a lot of people aspire to be like these people, or even the DG of the WTO, World Trade Organization, Okonjo-Iweala. Now you look at this woman and you say, I want to be like her. Or you look at this man like President Obama and you say, I want to be like him. Or you look at President Cyril Ramaphosa and you say, I want to be like him, right? Now, because they are so influential, it might be very hard for them to be able to mentor you one-on-one because they have so many things on the table. I mean, it would be hard for Cyril Ramaphosa to mentor you because he's at the helm of affairs. He is leading a country of about 55 to 56 million people, right? And so what happens is you begin to live vicariously through the lens of these people, right? And so if you love Cyril Ramaphosa, you love Oprah Winfrey, you start to look at it. So let's use Oprah Winfrey, for example. You start to say, how does she speak? If you want to, for example, be in the field of media, you start to ask yourself, how does she speak? How does she behave? So her life now becomes, her life is what's emulating, and you begin to emulate it. You begin to act in a certain type of manner to emulate and even do better, right? Better than her in that instance. And it's the same thing with, for example, even President Obama. He is very good at presentation. I mean, his oral presentation skills is top notch. I do not think I've met anyone so far that beats his oral presentation skills. And so if for a person as a mentee, you believe, I want to know how to give oral presentations, then you begin to watch his videos, you begin to watch how his body language, his countenance, you're learning. He's mentoring you, though he's not doing it explicitly, but you're doing it impliedly by learning and living vicariously through his life, right? I, for example, I use myself as an example. I mirrored the life of Condoleezza Rice growing up, but not anymore. Because again, remember that it changes as time goes on. You wake up one morning, you say, I want to be like this person. But then again, you're like, okay, maybe not. Again, change is the only constant thing in life. So growing up, I mirrored the life of Condoleezza Rice, where I said I wanted to study. She did languages, and I said I wanted to do languages. And for those who do not know Condoleezza Rice, she was the 66th Secretary of State who served during the tenure of President George Bush. And what made her special was that she was the first female African to serve in that position. I still admire her to date. She's a Republican, which is also a far cry from being a Democrat that most African Americans are. But again, when you do this mentoring through heroes, what happens is that you take away, just like every other thing, nobody's perfect. You take away what is good and ignore what is bad, if that makes sense. Now, what are the benefits of mentoring? We've talked about who a mentor is. We've talked about who a mentee is. We've talked about the types of mentoring, the 4 types of mentoring. Now, what are the benefits of mentoring? The first one is that mentoring encourages continuous learning and knowledge management. Now, as a mentee, you're constantly learning new skills and knowledge from your mentor, right? And so I always say that having a mentor is standing on the shoulder of giants so that you can see farther, right? And so what this basically means is that if you didn't have a mentor, you probably would just be standing on the floor and you can only see the level of the floor, right? But if you have a mentor, whether it's a male or a female, you're standing on their shoulders. And you who's sitting on the floor might not see as far, or if you go for like a concert, you know, this big concert and there's a party everywhere. Sometimes, you know, some people climb on people's shoulder and sit on there so that they can see more. And that's what I believe that mentorship is, or mentoring is all about. And so even a lot of mistakes that the mentors make, you as a mentee do not make them, because you learn from your mentor's experience. And this ensures continuous learning and growth in life, even way ahead of your peers who do not have mentors. The second one is mentoring creates networks and support systems. As a mentee, like I said, you're constantly learning new skills, but then mentors, because you're learning these new skills because mentors are usually more experienced professionally and educationally than you, a mentee. And so even as a mentor, mentors also have an array of support networks that you as a mentee can benefit from, especially through maybe internships, job opportunities, scholarships to go do masters, scholarships to go do PhDs. And in the case of group mentoring, right, you become friends with other mentees. And you start to build your network where, because you're all in the same space. So for example, you're all master students and you're all being mentored by a particular person or a particular organization. What then happens is, because you all become friends in the sense that you then attend meetings together. You then, for example, at Diali, what we do is more of also a book club where we get to read books and discuss them. The first book we've read this year now is the Slay in Your Lane, is the Black Girl Bible. And the second one is the feminist manifesto, Dear Ijerele, where you read and then you share ideas, you discuss it. You become maybe not necessarily best friends, but you become friends. You share ideas, you share books, you share just knowledge and skills amongst yourself. And remember, there's a saying that says your network is your net worth. And you don't want to wait until you're like 30 or 40 to start building your network. You want to start building your network now, so that in future, you're able to harness on those opportunities. You're able to harness on those networks. Because if you have friends already that are presidents, ministers, local government chairmen, speakers of parliament, you can easily say, oh, you know, that is my classmate, or that is my fellow mentee. Let me call him or let me call her. We've shared the same space. It's easier, right? And then the third one is mentoring gives you professional credibility. When a mentor recommends you for a job or a scholarship, it is likely that you'll be selected, because this gives the mentee credibility. When a mentor can reference you to say, for example, I'll use Deltas, right? To say, Deltas is my mentee, and I recommend it to somebody and I say, I want you to give her an internship. Necessarily, there might not be a space in the organization, they might be. But the fact that the person or the head of the organization knows me and I am vouching, I'm standing as a guarantor for Deltas, it is easy for Deltas to get that internship or to get that scholarship, because I have been able to put in a good word or be able to reference Deltas for that particular position. And so a mentor is able to refer a mentee based on the confidence in their abilities and based on the trust. And like I earlier mentioned, guarantee, and it opens doors to a world of opportunities for the mentee. The fourth one is mentoring builds skills. Mentors give opportunities to their mentees to access programs, opportunities, resources, events that they would ordinarily not be able to go to. I'll give an example. Say your mentor has a very big event that he or she wants to go to that is very educational or very professional. They can take you along and say, you know what, I want you to experience, I want you to learn. And these are places that ordinarily, if you didn't have a mentor, you would not be able to go, because those places are maybe for a certain, they say, okay, for only PhDs or for only people with masters, or for maybe only lawyers or for only doctors or for only entrepreneurs. But you can have access because of your mentor. And so even with that, you start to build your soft skills. You start to build your oral and presentation skills. You start to build your writing skills. You start to build your general life skills. I always teach my mentees to say, please, sorry, and thank you, because those are life hacks that as a person you need. But some people do not know this, not because they do not want to know it, but because maybe they haven't been taught. And so you need those very little basic, where even if you get into a taxi or you get into an Uber, when you get off, do you say thank you? Or you just get off like, oh, it's my right, I paid? No, but he took you safely to your destination. Anything could have happened. He could have driven rough, he could have done anything, but he's taking you. And I think it's also out of courtesy. If you want to ask somebody, can I have that paper? Instead of just saying, can I have that paper? Please, can I have that paper? So those are life skills that makes you very respectful and cautious, that people want to deal with you, because when people see you, they're like, oh, she's a very respectful person. He's a very respectful person. He's a very cautious person. She's a very cautious person. So now it's not just, so mentoring does not just build just professional skills about just scholarship, or it doesn't just give you life hacks on scholarship or internship or opportunities and resources. It also teaches you the life skills, basic life skills. How do you sit? How do you approach people? Are you aggressive? Are you calm? All of these things, when you send emails, what are the right words to say? Do you say dear sir or madam, or do you just say dear, I don't know? Because cultures are different. And so you must be able to look at look at the circumstance and know how to deal with it. And the last benefit is mentoring creates great leaders. Having mentioned all of those skills that I did, all of the other benefits, mentoring creates great leaders based on some of the points that I mentioned earlier, such as building skills, professional credibility, creating networks and support systems. And so it also helps you create that part and carve a niche for yourself in an area that you want to be in, whether you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you want to be a scientist, whether you want to be a pilot, whether you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, a president, a minister, just whoever you want to become. It creates, are you always on time? Are you one person, if they say the meeting is by 5 o'clock and then you want to arrive exactly at 5 o'clock? Or no matter how busy, are you a person of integrity, where if money is paid into your account, you return the money because it's not yours? You see money on the floor, you return it back to the person. Your word is your bond. If you say you're going to do something, you will do it. Are you that person? So that's all of the things that mentoring prepares you to be a great leader as a person, where if you say, I'm going to be there at 5 o'clock, you want to be there at 5 o'clock. If you say to a person, I commit to do this thing, you have to commit to do it. You can't just say, okay, you're just like a dicycle about it and say, oh, I'm going to do it, but you never get around doing it. It's only in very dire situation where, God forbid, a person has an accident or a person, something, beyond your control. But as long as it's within your control, are you that person? Are you a confident person where you step into a room, you're not shy, you don't look at your feet, you're able to look into people? And that's one thing I know, that I have a mentee in Nigeria that I'm so proud of. Her name is Blessing. She used to be very shy. She can't even look at anyone. She can't even do a presentation. And right now, she did a presentation recently at one of this programs that he had. And everyone was saying how amazing she is. And I felt so proud, because I remember 5 years ago, 6 years ago, she wouldn't even look at the camera to say anything, just how shy she was. Having discussed the benefit of mentoring, the question is, what is your role as a mentee, right? Now, as a mentee, you have to be able to maintain a cordial and respectful relationship between your mentor and yourself, right? You need to be polite. You can't say, because, my mentor is doing this, now I have access to do. No, it's her time, it's his time, so you need to be respectful, you need to have a cordial relationship. And number two, you also need to be open to criticism. Some people do not want, some mentees, whenever their mentors tell them, no, this is right, this is wrong, they get offended. They believe that, oh, why is he saying this to me, or why is she saying that to me? Once you start to say that you're doing something wrong, you need to grow. You need, if you cannot grow if you're not open to criticism. So even as a leader, you will get criticized. And so you must be prepared to learn from criticisms, right? Number 3, you must prepare a career goal, stating what you hope to achieve. You cannot have a mentor and you're like, I just have a mentor. Okay. What are you hoping to achieve from life? What do you want to do? And it's also important to have a vision board. I cannot say this enough. You must have a vision board where you can put your overall goal, your overall objective. Maybe it is to be an international lawyer, a diplomat. You have it there on your vision board. And then every year, you must have an annual task. I do this with my mentees a lot, where you then go through, this is what I hope to achieve this year. Do I want to have A's in all of my courses? Do I want to learn how to play piano? Do I want to learn a new language? You need to. And then you must also ensure, the 4th one is that you set meeting times. Now, your mentor cannot run after you to say, are you going to be there or not there? You need to be able to set those meeting times and put your best foot forward, because you must remember that most mentors are not being paid. So whatever time they're giving to you is out of the abundance of their hearts. Some mentors, yes, are being paid, but most mentors are not being paid. It is part of this whole social development community work where I'm devoting my time and myself to this person or these people. Because again, you cannot say you want to change the world without mentoring. Again, you need to be able to assist people. And then the 5th one is you must appreciate your mentor and be open to learning. Now, the role of a mentor is that the mentor does the following. For those who do not know, the mentor would counsel you and help you focus on the important things and leave out the things that are not important, would advise you and help you gain clarity on parts of your life that may seem confusing, would advocate by creating opportunities, paths to success, resources, and create exposure for you. A mentor would encourage you, would provide support where needed. A mentor would coach you and provide feedback on your work. It could be your CV, it could be your cover letter, it could be you apply for a scholarship or your motivation letter. They would give feedback. And then a mentor serves as a role model by teaching you not only by their words, but by their action, right? But we must note, again, I had mentioned earlier that nobody's perfect. And so mentors and mentees must realize that because no one is perfect, they must need to learn to accommodate each other, especially the fact that people come from different backgrounds and different experiences. Based on that, I would like to passe la parole in French, is give the word to Itumeleng first, who would speak on her first-hand experience as a mentee of Diali. And after that, we'll be given to Puseletso, who also share first-hand experience on mentorship, and then questions, and I can conclude. Yeah, so over to you, Itumeleng.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Itumeleng Mutaung, and I am a second-year student at the University of Pretoria. I met Mary while I was in high school, where she came as, I first met Mary when I was in high school, where she came as a guest speaker at a career expo. She's been my mentor for a year now, but throughout the years, she's played a huge role in my life as a mentor, a role model, and a motivator. For me, the benefits of having a mentor would be, firstly, I know I am continuously being encouraged and empowered in my personal development. Secondly, I know I get to improve my communication skills, as from time to time, my mentor is teaching me the importance of networking. We should remember that it is not what you know, but who you know that matters. And mentors have worked hard to build their professional network, which can help me as a mentee in my career progression. Therefore, while she connects me with the people that she knows, it is important for me to improve my networking skills so that I can be able to teach the next person. And thirdly, I know that from my mentor, I can get an unbiased and honest advice, unlike from a friend. And she helps with with me working on my weaknesses and also embracing my strengths. And since I know that we do not have a lot of emotional attachment, I know that the guidance I get from her is trustworthy. And so my role as a mentee in the relationship that I have with my mentor is, firstly, I need to acknowledge the advice that I get from my mentor and act upon it. Secondly, I need to always be prepared for the meetings that we have, to never show up late and to always take responsibility. All this is done because I need to remember that my mentor is a busy professional who gives me the benefit of her time. Therefore, I shouldn't take advantage of this in a bad manner. Thirdly, I must also be responsible for driving the working and the progress relationship by organizing meetings when she is free, and to also regularly to do follow-ups with her. What I have learned from the relationship I have with my mentor is I should take initiative in what I want to get from the relationship. I should make sure that I am contributing my time and my effort, because I know that at the end of the day, I am the one who needs guidance. Therefore, I should make sure that I benefit from the relationship that we both have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Itumeleng. Puseletso, over to you.
Good day to the houses at large. My name is Puseletso Lefakane, and I'm a student at the University of Johannesburg, and I'm currently studying a Bachelor of Arts on Community Development and Leadership. So I met Mary in 2020, and we've started the mentoring program since 2021 in January. And just to start, all I can say is that there's a lot of progress that has been made throughout Jan till this month, which is May. There's a lot of things that I've learned from Mary, and just to name a few, a lot of skills have been passed to me by, and knowledge has been passed to me by Mary. And these are skills that include professional skills and personal skills as well. And also there's a supportive relationship that we've built with Mary together with the rest of the mentees in such a way that we can contact her at any time when we're having challenges within our academic life, social life, and even our psychological life as well. Having a mentee has made me be able to accept constructive criticism in such a way that I have been able to learn from all my mistakes at all times. And throughout the mentee program, we have created reachable goals, and having reachable goals has made us have consistency in attaining our goals. And we have a mentee calendar where we have set out goals as mentees. These are goals that need to be reachable by the end of the year. I best believe that this pushes me to do better at everything that I do and to put in more effort in everything that I do also. Having a mentee has boosted my confidence and has also allowed me to embrace my strength and know that I am capable and I can do anything that I want to do and anything that I put my mind into. Having a mentee has also put me in a space where I'm with someone that is well connected in an area that I want to operate in, or rather an area that I want to work in such a way that Mary has encouraged a lot of us to start doing unpaid internships. And these internships are going to help us later when we want jobs when we are done with university. This is because of the unemployment that we have in South Africa. With me having the experience already, I can go into applying for a job that I want because I already have the experience. Also, I have learned etiquette since I've been with Mary. Things such as saying please, thank you, please and thank you. And I've realized that these are such important things that are not only great for you as a professional, but great for your personnel as well. And Mary has also encouraged us to be better than to be better, and not only better, but do better than her as a professional. And she has also encouraged us to participate in a lot of things that within our professions, and that will make us grow as well. I have been fortunate enough to also get awardable opportunities just because I have Mary as a mentor. For example, I've been a speaker in the International Day of the Girl Child alongside the Ali and also the Gracia Machel Foundation. All I can say is that one needs to have a mentor, and it's very, very important for one to have a mentor, because a mentor pushes you to your higher self, and also encourages you to embrace your strengths and be better than you can be. Just to end, I would just like to say words that she always says to us, that Black child, your dreams are valid, and your Black child, your dreams are valid, and you can do anything that you put your mind into. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Pusele. So before I go for questions, I'll just quickly conclude. And in my conclusion, what Pusele just said will be there, because it's something that I have said to myself so many times, and I believe has led me to where I am today. And I pray and hope that it will also lead them through this journey and make them amazing women in future. And to conclude, I'm speaking to everyone who's listening today, be it male or female, even as a gender advocate. If we do not have great men, we cannot also have great women. It works hand in hand. You need to have faith in your goals, your dreams, your vision, and yourself. Believe in the validity of who you are. Be intentional about your goals and be unapologetic about it. You will be knocked down 1,000 times, but you need to keep fighting. Keep the focus, keep up with the strength, and compete with yourself alone, because you're more than enough. You are a product of so many seeds planted by those who came before you. So do not forget to give back. Get a mentor, then mentor, and educate the generation after you. Become a light onto their path. And always remember, Black child, your dreams are valid. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary, for that informative session. It was amazing, and I myself have learned a lot from it. And also, I also want to thank your mentees for joining us, Puseleto and Itumeleng. Thank you so much for your speeches. I myself wish that I knew about the importance of having a mentor earlier on, but then I didn't. But I intend on getting a mentor. So if I may ask, if a person wants to have a mentor, or maybe wants you to be their mentor, is there a sort of a process that they have to follow, or any steps that they need to follow it so that they can get into your program?
Okay, so for my program, you would have to send an email. I would usually have a one-on-one session. Okay, so with my program, right, currently I have four batches, one batch in Nigeria. The one in Nigeria, they've been my longest. Oh my God, I've had some for like 7 years. And there's one who's more than 26 now, but she still wants to be part of it. And I didn't even understand how. But so there's the one in Nigeria of mentees. They've been my longest for like 6 years. And then there's the one in the UK. They're about 2 years. There's the one in South Africa, which officially I only just started this year, January, but unofficially, like Itumeleng said, I have a mentee also at your university. I remember saying it initially beginning. Her name is Naledi. She is a second-year student, international relations. She's been my mentee also. She's been longest unofficially, until I put them in a program. So what happens is you send an email, and then I have a one-on-one session. Sometimes you would have to wait a month. You would have to wait 3 weeks. It depends on how busy I am. But then once I have the session with you, then I know if it's something that I can mentor you in or not. Because one thing you need to have a mentorship for is you cannot, for example, be an engineer and have a mentor in law, you know. It's because, again, in as much as you want to help the person, the career fields are quite different, you know. So even though I am a lawyer, right, my mentees, they are, they also, I have lawyers, part of them. I have people who've done international relations, sociology, you know. In the arts field, it's easier because Puseleto is not a lawyer, Ntumeleng is not a lawyer, Naledi is not a lawyer, but I'm able to help them because they are in the arts field. I don't know if that makes sense. So that would be the first thing. And that's for my organization, right? Just send an email and then have a one-on-one session and see how I can help. And then you could then go through the process and then everything else. But if it's for somebody else, it's always good to see them so you can find them on LinkedIn. I always advise, if you do not have a LinkedIn, for all of you, first things first, go and open a LinkedIn account. Now, open a LinkedIn account, put all of the work you've done in there, because you're going to find a way. LinkedIn is powerful. Forget about Instagram, forget about Facebook. Those things are just for playing. If you want to have a career, you want to be a career-driven woman or man, you need a LinkedIn account. So go open a LinkedIn account, put all of your information in there, all you've done from 1970, 1960, 1900, put everything in there. And then sometimes LinkedIn can help you. You can search for someone in your field. You reach through the person's profile and you realize that this is something that you want to do. You know, this is somebody that you hope to mentor, and you can just send them an email. You know, you can have 4 or 5 people that you hope to they mentor you, and then through that, you never know, they could respond, and then you tell them. But again, remember, you have to be very cautious. Some people come into your email or your WhatsApp, they just say, hello, please be my mentor. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to at least put in an effort, compose a message, you know, dear Mary, hello, Mary. I do not even expect people to say hello. When you're meeting someone for the first time officially, do not say hello. You have to be able to say, dear Mary, or good afternoon, Mary. It's not because of Mary, me. Do you know what I mean? It could be somebody else. Cultures are different. You know, some people, if it's the European, you say hello. But I know some parts of West Africa very well. If you go and say hello, they will never respond to your message because they'll say, we're not age mates, you know? So you need to always be respectful, send an email, a very respectful email, and go straight to the point. My name is Deltas. I'm a second-year student, or I'm a master's student, or I'm a PhD student, and I see the amazing work you're doing, and I would like you to mentor me. Please, what is the process? You know, wait a week if they don't respond to you, not because they don't want to respond, because they're busy. Send another message again. And I always tell my mentees, personal agency, you need to respond for yourself. It's called personal agency. You need to be responsible for yourself. No one's going to help you. Manna is not going to fall down from heaven. You need to be able to help yourself. You need to be able to push until whatever you want, you get it.
Okay, thank you very much, Mary. A question in the chat. The person said that they missed the third type of mentoring. Can you please clarify that for them?
Oh, okay. The third one is the distance or virtual mentoring, where you may never meet the person. Your mentor, there could be somebody, maybe you are a musician and you've always wanted to, you know, have a mentor who's a musician in a certain type of genre, for example. So what you do is you then send an email to the person and tell them you want to mentor them. Now, you're in South Africa, for example, your mentor could be in the US. You can't allow distance to stop you from gaining knowledge. I don't know if that makes sense. So through the distance of virtual mentoring, you are able to connect with your mentor and then ask them questions. And thank God for social media, whether it's WhatsApp, you can contact them, let them know your personal, professional. If you want to organize a Zoom session or Google Meets, just have conversation with them, but you might never meet them. That's another thing about the distance of virtual mentoring, but at least you would learn from them and be able to benefit from their networks.
Okay, it looks like there are no questions. I would like to thank Mary and also the attendees for coming through. Thank you so much. I think we're going to end the session.
Deltas, I just have one comment before we close. Mary, I just wanted to thank you for this wonderful presentation. You've just reaffirmed that the basics are so important because they give us that foundation and they rid us of those misconceptions that we sometimes pick up along the way. And I think getting back to the basics, like saying please and thank you and dear sir or dear ma'am, that in actual fact brings us to a place of successful networking in the end. So thank you for bringing that to the front today. We really appreciate it.
And thank you so much, Godiki, for having me. It was an amazing time spending with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then you have a good day. Bye.
Bye.